How to rent your house out as a vacation rental. I'm going to walk you through how to do this and avoid the mistakes a lot of people make. So in this video, what we're going to cover is the logistics on setting up your house as a vacation rental. And then I'm going to talk about how to get 5-star reviews. Then I'm going to share with you a way to minimize your engagement but maximize your time and money with these people. Here's the first thing I say when looking at or evaluating this: if your property is actually suitable. Like, is it in an area that you can actually do? I mean, is it in an HOA? Do they even allow it? Does your city allow it? These are a lot of things that you need to look at. More importantly, is there demand for the area that you're trying to rent out? I don't know. These are things that you need to look at, and you could flesh that out by going to Airbnb. You could go to VRBO or HomeAway and determine that by looking in your geographical area. And you could also figure out what price points you could get on a nightly, weekly basis. You'll want to make sure that this stuff is worth it, because at the end of the day, you're going to have someone in your house utilizing it, renting it, and expect for things to happen. Are you prepared mentally? If something happens to your house, are you going to be okay with it? So we're going to walk through those things with you right here, so to avoid any potential issues and maximize your returns at the same time and make it worth it. One of the things that I look at when I rent some of my vacation rentals is it an area that honestly doesn't make sense? Is it seasonal? And if it is seasonal, how much of the year can I actually rent it out? More importantly, if it's my own personal house, where am I going to go and where can I offset and make that worthwhile or make sense for me to rent out my house? Where am I going to go? Are there things that need to be tightened up on your house? These are things that could potentially hurt you in the review comments that you get if you're not tight on your house. You got to make sure little things like your spoons and forks and plates are all there. Or does your HVAC work? Does it not work? What's the cleanliness of the property? Are you bringing in professional cleaners or are you doing it yourself? These are things that you want to look at. A lot of people will go through and hire management companies. You're going to pay a little bit higher fees on a vacation rental than you will on a traditional rental. There's a lot more touch points. It's understandable. But if you do it yourself, make sure you have a maintenance person on hand just in case something happens. Make sure you're available, or your management company. Also, make sure that the lawn is tight and the house is clean prior to them getting there. I like to make sure that I have a binder for them with passwords and descriptions of where to go, what to do, why they're there. This will help them with digging into that versus texting you for recommendations. One of the key things that a lot of people miss on is professional photos. If you look on a lot of these listings, they're not professional photos. You want to make sure that you're doing these professional photos, getting them done. You could find them. It's not going to cost more than a couple $100s to get, and it will pay dividends, because if someone's looking at a property with professional photos versus not, they're more than likely going to gravitate towards your property. Also, understanding your competition and getting good reviews. You want to make sure that you're on top of it. Time is money on this. When people inquire on your property, you want to make sure that you're responsive and responding quickly to them. You're graded on this. You're graded on the cleanliness of the property. Was the property ready in time? You want to make sure that you have plenty of time in between check-in and check-out to get the property cleaned. You want to make sure it's listed on all the sites possible. I avoid things like Craigslist. There's could be scams. You may want to look into it, but I do Airbnb, HomeAway, and VRBO. Those are my go-to 3. One thing that you may want to consider is there's an insurance policy. I have everybody go through. It's very little money. I have them opt in, get the insurance. You never know what could happen. It's worth it to protect your investment. You want to make sure that you write a good description about the property and the surrounding areas. If you have a problem or it's difficult for you to write these things, you may want to hire a content writer on maybe 99 Designs or something like that, to where they could articulate and come out with the best description of the property for you. If you have a realtor, they do it all the time. Maybe ask them for help. Take them out for dinner to write up a description of their property and the surrounding area. Depending on the quality of the rental, you want to make sure that your property is furnished correctly and that you're not missing a lot of furniture, and that your furniture is clean without holes in it. I know these things seem like pretty standard and common sense, but you'd be amazed at how many people list their properties and have things missing or just simply too used, and they get beat up by the reviews. The bad reviews will hurt you. Make sure that your house is in tip-top shape before renting it. Make sure the items are there, such as utensils, cups, forks, knives. Make sure the light bulbs are all in place. These are simple maintenance things that make a big difference when someone's checking in. Think about or put yourself in that person's shoes. If they were renting it, what would they be looking at? Screening renters as well. You want to look at people that have reviews versus no reviews. If someone has no reviews, you may want to scrutinize them. I always look and Google who they are to determine the validity of that person. And are they going to harm my property, or are they going to be a good tenant? You got to do some risk evaluation here. Last but not least, here's the thing. You're going to need to pay taxes when you do this. So make sure you're setting aside your city taxes, because you need to make sure you're paying those. Otherwise, that could come back to bite you. So before we get to how to get 5-star reviews, I'd like for you to go ahead and click on the link below and subscribe so we can bring you more content like this daily. You want to create a welcome pack for people coming in and checking out your property and staying there. You want to have all the passwords easily accessible. If things are odd on how to work the property, you want to make sure that those things are spelled out as well. What restaurants that people like to go to in the area, have a selection, a variety of them. Also, things to do. What are the attractions in your area? Why are they there? Maybe find out why they're there. Or do you want to even go the extra mile and have maybe their groceries delivered at an expense? A lot of people do this. It's another way for you to monetize your rental. Have those things already at your house before they even get there. These things go a long way. You're guaranteed to get good reviews because of it. If you like this video, I think you'll like the next video, how to make your vacation rental stand out.